this whole weekend I was obsessing over this pants sloper, trying to get it right. The morning sky fades. So that's what I was trying to do this weekend, is just keep working on getting the pattern right. And so I did a muslin, which is just basically where you get some cheap fabric and put it together in the most basic form to see how it fits on your body. And I found these curtains, these thin curtains on the side of the road that I picked up and washed them and cut them out as the muslin. And it did not fit right. I keep messing with it and keep messing with it and keep messing with it. And yeah, I think I almost lost my mind as I'm starting my period. It was just crazy. Just working on this stupid thing. It was so frustrating. Why is this so important to me? Good question. And I think I can answer that in a way it made sense to me this morning, because this morning I was getting everybody ready to go and one of the kids was like, my pants don't fit. And I was like, okay, well, which pants don't fit? And then I looked and it was ones I had just bought her. And I was like, okay, well, what is not right about them? Because it's the same size as some of the other pants that fit her. And she said when she sits down, it pulls down. And I was like, oh, so the fabric is not stretchy enough to go over her butt. And it just kind of catapulted me back into childhood, where I could never find pants that fit comfortably over my butt. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a universal issue for women, is the sizing is just never right, because they have the standardized sizing and nobody's a standard size. So even when I started sewing back in the States, and I knew nothing about anything sewing related, I started out with a pants pattern, and I did the size that was did my measurements, tried to get the correct size, and put it all together, and it didn't fit. It was like way too big here and way too big in the waist, but it's like the crotch depth was wrong, and then the sides were too long. It's just like, even if I were to purchase a pattern and put it together completely, odds are it's not going to fit correctly, because everybody's body shape is going to be a little different. And that is why you have tailoring back in the day, because people were like, well, I need this tailored to my body. And then I started thinking about it, and was like, this is so fascinating that something like that is just not feeling comfortable in the very clothes that you wear is like the most, it really, I think it incrementally chips away at your self-esteem without you realizing it. Because of course there's going to be external environment telling you that your body type is the wrong one. It's not the right one. It's not the sexy one. It's not the correct one. And that is always the case for everyone. And so over the years, little by little, you start feeling uncomfortable and out of balance in your own skin, because the clothes aren't working for you. They're trying to make you fit it, and it's of course not going to work. And that is why the pants, the long way of saying why the pants prototype is so important to me. It's because I want to figure out how to make pants fit perfectly to someone's body in a way that makes them feel confident about themselves, and it makes me feel confident about myself, where you're taking into consideration actual human movements and you're able to move around and feel comfortable and not feel like you're having to mess with your clothes. Because I like to think of clothes as like another skin, and when the skin is not fitting, you have a problem, because yeah, like you want to be comfortable in your own skin. No idea what I'm doing. Okay. I'm about to cut my third, fourth, fifth, I don't know, pattern piece out as a practice, to practice again, to see where our problems are and where our fit is. And so I am planning to cut it out really quick, and then we'll see where we're at. I don't know if I've lost the plot, but we're gonna see what we can do. Oh God, the challenges. What challenges have I faced with this prototype? My God. Okay, well, to start with, math. Because you can do sewing is not super challenging when you think about it in putting things in order. Like, you do this order of things, you put these things together in this order, and everybody might have a different order of doing it, but that's kind of, you can figure that out. And you can do flat things that don't require shape. But when you bring in a human body that you want to fit non-stretchy fabric on, you're gonna have to figure out how to manipulate flat fabric, and not just on a mannequin, which I could do a little bit. I can manipulate on my body, which is why I kind of did a little bit of changes to old clothes that I didn't like. I can just like do that because I can manipulate it on my own body, and that makes sense. I'm a very kinetic learner. But math was always my nemesis when I was a kid. I was so fucking challenged every time. Like in high school, in college, I got a Bachelor of Arts, and so I tried to stay as far away from math as I possibly could, take as few classes as were necessary, and even so, it was just like, oh my God, it was hard for me personally. Not every girl, not every person, but me specifically. And geometry was a challenge, but that's basically what it is you're trying to transfer measurements from like something with density, something with volume, a human body with like curves, and like it's a body, and then you're trying to figure out what that means on a flat pattern. And not only what that means on a flat pattern, how do you transfer, and what are the measurements that go from here to this flat pattern, and from this flat pattern to this, shaped body. And then there's always, it's fabric, so it's movable, and you're gonna have to manipulate it. And so trying to just do a pattern from scratch, it's been a challenge for me. I about went crazy last night. I was like a little gremlin on the floor, hunched over. I literally almost got a neck crick. I had to stretch out so much. I was like, oh no, I'm old. It's happening. I'm freezing up. Forgot to eat. Forgot to go to the bathroom even. It's a dumb ADHD thing where we get so into hyper focus that we're just like forgetting our basic necessities. And that's what I did all weekend. I changed my crotch depth, so hopefully that will help, because there's more volume below. It was pulling all of my pattern, the height of my pattern down, and making it bunch in the wrong direction. So I had to lengthen that depth. So I lengthened it, and hopefully that will at least solve some of the problems. I am not under the illusion at this point that this next pattern is gonna be the one, because I know I'm gonna have to effing adjust it again. But that has been the challenge, is the maths. The other challenge has just been, finding time to sit down and do it, and then trying to keep up with all the other stuff that I have to do with the kids' stuff. They're back to school, so that makes it a little easier to do some stuff in the morning, but then you're just like, there's so many things, what do I even start with? And then that becomes overwhelming. But I'm taking time for it, and it will come together. I do believe I can figure this out. I'm doing it the hard way, of course. Obviously, I'm doing it the hard way again. And then also the other thing would be the repetition of redoing something over and over again. With ADHD, that wears on you. Because I like doing new things, and I'm like, okay, I got it, let's move on to the next thing. And this is just like so tedious, is trying to just get this particular pattern done correctly. So that in itself has been painful. Just to give you an idea of the amount of test patterns I've done, practice patterns, test patterns I've done. This is not even including finagling multiple paper patterns that I've been trying to draft. Bear in mind, I am a complete drafting beginner. And I'm not starting with the easiest clothing pattern to sort out. I am starting with pants, which that's tricky. That's a tricky fit to shape pants. So I thought I would just kind of go through the pile. This is the one I did last night. Basically, it is it's a muslin, and it's way too high. I don't know how that happened, but it's too high. Otherwise, the seams actually lay the correct way, unlike this one. So the seams are actually going the correct way, but here, where the crotch depth is, the crotch depth itself is pretty good. It fits pretty well. So the curve, I think I finally got sorted, but this is a little too much. This is too much fabric here, and it doesn't quite line up, so it's adding a little bit too much bunching here. So I think I need to take some of this off here. I guess you can see it like here, because it just bunches whenever you stand up, and that's not quite right. But working with a three-dimensional shape. Also, I think because it is too long, I need to kind of cut it in the middle and take it up. There are some drag lines and the back bunching lines. So there's still a lot of problems, but that's the closest. Going backwards, this is the last one that I did, which is, I didn't even do darts on this last one. I was like, I'm gonna sort out the waist later. Obviously, it's super high. This one, the reason why I went higher is this one turned out to be too short in the back. So it was pulling on the crotch line, and the crotch line wasn't right. So that is that. So this one, still, I guess I could show you what these look like, but I'll have to wear on pants because they're very thin. That's the one before that. Of course, this was the original one that you saw in the other video, which was pretty good, but didn't quite. This is more of a soft kind of fabric, slightly stretchy. So going from slightly stretchy to no stretch at all, I have to get this thing correct, So that's that. This one is a complete fail, because this was a pair of pants that I had, that I wore a lot before in the past. I really like them. They're I'm almost sure they're vintage from when I was a teenager, the really wide pants, wide-legged pants. They were American Eagle, and I wore them a lot. I liked them, but then they got too big, and so I was going to take them in, and I was thinking I could just take them in at the waist, which I did. Still need to fix that a little bit. And then we started on, I took out the wrong direction of fabric to the crotch, and it made it absolutely and completely unable to cover my entire crotch area. So then I was like, well, let me just take the pockets off the back and make a little patch here for the bottom and just kind of like patchwork it in. But you know, you can do that on pajama pants, but you really can't do that on jean pants, as far as I know. So I did this little patch, and it looks like, it looks so ridiculous. It's so bad. But you can see it's like a little patch. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. So we're scrapping this. Now, we're not scrapping the fabric. I will be using this fabric. In fact, when there's like so much fabric in the legs here that I could probably do, I don't know, like a vest or something out of it. But what I thought was really cool is when I cut the pockets off with the patch, I really liked this color, how it's kind of fading. The original color is fading into this like lighter color from the original fabric, where the light didn't see. And I thought that would be kind of like a cool, I don't know, like a cool bustier or something. I don't know, we'll see. I could go different ways with it. We're definitely keeping it for the fabric, but we're gonna call this a fail. This is a fail. Just so you know, that is how it goes. This is not a one and done, baby, kind of situation here. So that's that. So that is where I'm at. I'll show you the first one first. I have pants under my pants. Pants under my pants, because it's cold. Actually, it's warmer today than it was. No more snow, and it definitely is not as cold. All right, let's see if we can do this. This was the first one with all of that. And let's see. All right, so a couple of things. This wasn't high enough, and so it was pulling up. Like there wasn't enough crotch depth. So that's what I was fixing on the other one. Obviously the lines are pulling up, so there's not enough space here. The other thing is the seam lines are kind of pulling forward. And then in the back, let's see. Yeah, there's like too much fabric here. And then on the side seams, it was like too much hip here. That should have been like in more like that, right? So there's several things. But yeah, that was that first prototype right here. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the front. Another one. Obviously didn't do any of this at the top. Way too high. Not sure what's going on with that. It looks like I look like a child putting on pants. Because it's way too tall. I don't know what happened there. The maths didn't quite math. But you can also see the crotch line is pretty good, but like this is pulling here. So I have to either A, figure out what that means, and then it's like bunchy here. But you see this line? It's actually where it's supposed to be on this side. But yeah, it's just not quite right. I don't think it's the crotch line though, because there seems to be enough room here. It's just too bunchy here on the sides, like right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that would impact sitting, but like you see, all of it is going towards here, so there's something going on there. And being able to read what the lines mean. Not quite there yet, but you can see in the back. Let's see.
what I'm looking at here. We have darts here and here.
So I feel like the crotch line is just, the crotch line is okay. Everything else needs work. So that's where we're at. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you, how to tell you what's going wrong. Because I don't know. So I've been messing with this. So we're not going to get to the end of this video and there's going to be an easy solution or a finished result. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the end of this particular story, because this is going to take some time, my friends. Well, probably a lot of things, but about this particular topic, you don't have to fit the standard. You got to make something that works for you, because you are individual and unique and cool and awesome, and there's so much potential in discovering the things that light you up, discovering the things that make you you. And I would say right now you don't love your body. Right now you feel uncomfortable in it, but you're going to get to a point in your life at some point where you're going to feel so good in your own skin, and you're going to start doing things that make you feel good and light you up, and that is the thing that's going to give you so much joy, and that's a possibility to do that. And it's possible to be happy. It's possible to be happy in your own skin. In fact, it's definitely possible. And yeah, that's what I would say. And that's what I say to my kids is, each of you are unique and individual, and we don't fit in everyone's box because there's too many variations of us. We're all like different flowers. It's fantastic and it's interesting, and everybody offers something unique and different. Don't let the standard be the thing. Let your internal flame be the thing that guides you. That's what I would tell my younger self. And also, it does get better, and it will get better, and it's possible, and things will not be this bad forever. That's what I would tell her. And I would say to my younger self, you will make it. You will make it. And you will actually not just make it, but you will thrive. We keep going. We keep going on those goddamn pants. We will figure it out. Figure it out.